Okay, I said today's gonna be the last day, and I believe this will be my last video. It's 5 p.m. We're waiting for my wife's mother to arrive here shortly. So I need to make one more video about Bill Atkinson, the retired Master Chief SEAL that I got to spend some time with because I put out some very personal information about him and how his son was a current operating SEAL. So this very private information, he might have only told me because I had his government phone number and his personal number, and I kept in touch with him for a couple years. After I got out of the Navy, many years later, right? And I had some personal emotional problems I was going through, and I called him up one time, and I was just crying my eyes out, and he asked me if I was okay, and it was the last conversation I ever had with that man, but. That man set me down the path, we were in a car together in the back seat, someone else was driving us, and we were going to run my annual PRT, physical readiness test, and during the test, he actually ran in front of me. I ran right behind him. It was a very windy day, like you do in the Olympics, and the last 3 laps, he said, okay, it's your time to push. And he wanted to run behind me, and then last lap or so he just sped past me. But I got the fastest run time I ever had since boot camp. So I'd been in the Navy for like 10 minutes, and it's always a slow runner, but I got I don't know, just over 9 minutes run. I got like a 9:40 in boot camp or something, but I got my fastest run time ever. But during that ride, because we were in the car for several hours. And he was working out all the time, but I believe specifically he went down there because he didn't have anyone to meet that day. He went to, our recruiters that we had to go run the test. He went down there with me because he lived there. He knew I was doing the test and he wanted to spend some time with me. And I got to spend that day with that man in the car. And while I was in the car, I was talking to Bill because he lived in Burlington. I spent a lot of time in my off time, or when I can get out of my office, in Burlington, walking around, whether I went down to the bike path to run the lake or whatever. So anyway, I was in the car with Bill, just me in the back seat talking, and I was like, Bill, what are you doing to pick up the chicks? He's still going to the clubs and the bars and stuff? He's like in his 50s, right? And he's talked to me about yoga. And he said, well, actually, if you go to a yoga studio, your chances are that it's going to be a classroom filled with women, and you might be the only man in there, or maybe there's one or two other men, and that's what he recommended me to do, and not go to the pubs anymore. And I got into yoga, and the only reason why I was able to experience the visions that I had and meet the yoga instructor that I had that got me into yoga nidra was because William Atkinson had that conversation with me in that car that day. And he talked about, how good it was for your muscles and your breathing and stretching and all these things, because a lot of people in those programs, they have injuries that could be mitigated by stretching. And shoulder injuries is the most typical one people have. Taller people have them, carrying those rafts and buds. And, he would stretch out our guys and work our guys out and warm them up before all these tests we ever did. I mean, he knew what he was talking about, and a lot of the stretches, I haven't seen a lot of yoga routines that I've tried out a lot. The only one that I found that was awesome is Trudy Styler's Warrior Yoga. I've bought the DVD several times. In fact, I've had it shipped to me to China. Bought it again. My dad shipped it out here after it came in from Amazon. That is done by the musician named Sting. He is a commentator on that video. And his life partner, Trudy Styler, is the woman you can watch doing the video while Sting talks you through the video and his music from the Labyrinth is playing. But if you do that full routine, and it's a very difficult routine to do, many years I did that routine. It's very difficult. But the more you practice that one specific yoga routine all the way through, it gets better and better and better. I'm telling you. That yoga routine is amazing. And I've done a lot of workouts in my life, and that feeling you get of that release of dopamine after a good workout, you feel really good. I'm telling you, you need to try that yoga routine. Trudy Styler's Warrior Yoga. You can buy it for like $10 from Amazon. First place I picked it up was at a Walmart for like maybe $8 in the fucking, you know, sale bin or whatever. It's an amazing workout. Amazing. Do that all the way through. You know, if you've never tried before, watch it once and then try it. It's very difficult, the pace to go through. Like, first couple times doing it, or if I didn't do it for a year, I'd have to pause the video. It really gets your heart beating. But that's the only full routine from beginning to the end that just made me. I mean, when you do that yoga routine, at the end of that yoga routine, when you're just standing there, you feel power in your entire body. But this video is for Bill. I'm sorry about saying what I said about your family, but it was important to be said. This one's for you. Thank you.